Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How is everybody doing today? Boy, my eyes are really fucked up today. I'm going to have a hard time reading the chat. So if you could please write in caps, make it a little easier for me to see what I'm reading. Well, I'll have to pull my phone out and use the magnifying portion of it so I can see what you're writing. Boy, that got noisy, eh? That got noisy. I always got to remember to turn the volume off. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you might happen to be. My name is Ghost Dog, aka Lawrence. What is everybody up to? Do I have anybody in here? Oh, I got a few people. Good to see us. Good to see us. Who we got in here now? Hey, it's the bum. Ah, who's the bum? Are you the bum? Damn it, I cannot see that. Fuck. Hey, Natalie. Oh, is that Mike? Hi, Mike. Good to see yes. Good to see yes. Well, I thought my dizziness stuff was all over with. And today we had somebody come out to look at the car, and he figured out it is the ECM. So he's going to go to a few junkyards and see if he can find a new ECM and see if we can get the car ready. So we might have a car in the next couple days, which is a good thing. Means we can get back to work and start making our own money. And I won't have to do fundraisers anymore. which I will be very happy about. I will be very, very happy about that. Oh, again, I want to thank anybody and everybody that has helped this family in the last 8 months. Again, if it wasn't for you guys, we probably wouldn't have a roof over our heads. The car would probably be still sitting with a blown slave cylinder, and we'd probably be starving. So again, I want to thank anybody and everybody that's ever helped us out. Thank you. I was just checking the comments and whatnot. I had one guy come in, and I know what he was trying to do, but he kind of messed up a little bit because the quote unquote definition of begging implies anybody asking for help for anything or requesting and stuff like that. And I got to think, I said, so all these fundraisers out there for like children's cancer and uh, asking for help for rebuilding homes that were in floods, so on and so on. They're not requesting, they're not asking for help, they're all begging. So my conclusion is simple as this. Just remember, anytime you ask anybody for help for anything, you're begging. You're not asking for help, you're begging. According to this huge definition this guy gave. I didn't erase it, I left it up there. I thought it was funny. So, again, if you get a flat tire, don't ask anybody for help because you'd be begging. Go to the store, try to find something. Don't ask the store people for help because you're going to be begging. Don't ever mention that, you can't, you're stuck on something because it'll imply that you're begging for help. Anybody wants to know what I'm talking about? Read the comments on. I think it was not this last live or the live before. But anyways, I thought it was funny. I left it up there. You know, again, I know what they were trying to do. Complete fail. But anyways, yeah, I was out there. I was saying, I went out to the guy, told him what I have done and stuff like that with the car and what the problem was. And I was sitting in the garage and I went to get up. I didn't feel good going out there in the first place. I was kind of dizzy. And anyways, we're getting ready to go back into the house. And I was passed out right at the garage. So I had to beg the guy to help me walk me back to the house. And thank God, my begging him for assistance to walking back to the house. I made it back to the house. I had to sit down, but I almost passed out just walking back to the house. Mike, why are you calling yourself a bum? Are you a bum? Do you live in the streets? Well, come on. Answer the question. Just waiting. Gonna make a comment, but you want back it up. So yeah, definitely go forward with the car. He's gonna go to a few junkyards and see if he can find a used ECM. Because he can, his research uh, narrows it down to the ECM for what the car is doing. Really hoping it wasn't the ECM because that's, if he could find one, he's thinking he could find one for like 150 bucks, which I'm like, I kind of doubt it because I've done a lot of research and looked at myself. And the cheapest one I could find that was reprogrammed was 380 some odd dollars, and that's a used one. That's not even a new one. So we'll see what he could do, what he could find. So we hope we get it going. Otherwise, Natalie, how are you doing, girl? You still there? But yes, here I am. Uh, just looking for 10 bucks. Couldn't get it last night, but it was late last night. Deli's back. Deli's back. Try to see how many people's here. I could barely see that. I could barely see it. What the hell is this? Something came up. I don't know what it was though. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Uh, I'm waiting till about 8 o'clock. David's going to take me to the store. I think I'm going to try to make some Frisco burgers. So I need to pick up some sourdough bread. I'm going to pick me up some Swiss cheese. Got to pick up some hamburger. And got to see if I got any apple cider vinegar left. I know we had some in the refrigerator on the bottom, but it gets very, very rarely doesn't get used. Let's see if we still got enough bacon. But yep, I am going to attempt to make the Hardee's Frisco burger. And if I got enough money on my card, I'm going to maybe pick up some fries or something like that. We'll see. I kind of want to get it now, but again, I don't have a ride. Nobody can take us. And the neighbor, she wants to wait till her kids go to bed. So, yeah, it's okay. I can't pin two different things at once. I want to leave my PayPal up there and my Cash App up there. That way, if somebody does see the title, they know what I'm looking for, and that's it. As soon as I could get it, I'll be pretty much done anyways. Technically, I need 15, but I think I can rustle up $5 more. I got a couple bucks already on the card, so I'll just ask around privately, see if anybody's got an extra $3. But like I said, it ain't gonna be long. I won't have to do this anymore. I could just do regular live shows while I still can see. I want to do a big thank you show. Try to do a big Zoom show and ask people that have help. Oh, let me correct it. Beg people that have helped if they want to come up on the Zoom and just kind of like a make a party, thank you party. But yeah, make sure you get your words right. Don't ask anybody or say I need help because helping means begging. So make sure you use the correct words. You know, would you say, hey, can you help me with tying my shoes? Nope. The correct term is I'm begging you to help me tie my shoes. Yeah, you said requesting a favor is considered begging. So the dictionary, they better just get rid of the word help and replace it with begging, according to its definition. Did you guys know that? So you're not requesting for help, you're begging for help. Anyways, gotta have a good laugh, at least once a day. I don't know why people try to troll me. It doesn't work. I'm an old truck driver. You can't hurt me. You can't intimidate me. And you really can't piss me off too much. It takes a lot to get me irritated. And then I just wait about 5 minutes and I'm fine. Besides, don't they say if you can't irritate at least one person a day, you're not living life? Yeah, so here it's at, I had to take a nap. Like I said, I wasn't feeling good at all. And I kind of knew something was going to happen because I always can tell when I wake up and if I stand and I feel a little dizzy, I know it's going to be a bad day. And again, I don't understand why. I know I'm not dehydrated, so that can't be the problem. Tomorrow I'll get the lab results for my blood workup and see if they figured anything out. Find out if I'm diabetic or not. And find out if it's possible. Can they tell if you got cancer through blood work? Anybody know? he was asking me what I wanted done. I said, well, I basically want a full medical checkup, blood work, lab work, the whole 9 yards. And but I told him, I said, there's only one thing I will not have done, and nobody's sticking their finger in my butt. And like JoJo said, they actually do blood work on that now. They don't do that really anymore. So we'll find out. We will find out and get my thing fixed on my website, my chart website, so I can get the information from the hospital and x-rays and stuff. Had it once, but when the phone got shut off, they wanted to send me a code, and it wouldn't send through my text. And for some reason, when my phone got shut down, it locked down my email address. And so until the phone gets unlocked, I can't access that email. And it asked me for passcode, and I've had that email for years. I have no idea what the passcode is. But I did manage to get open my my Google Gmail open back up, so now I just have to change my email address to my Gmail to get the information. So when I call them up, and I do have a new phone number, I did get the text now to work, so I do have a regular phone number. But then again, text now only works if you got Wi-Fi. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have service. But I can receive texts and phone calls and make phone calls from it, so that's a good thing. So kind of partially got the phone. It's a good backup, but like I said, you got to make sure you have Wi-Fi. You got to make sure you have Wi-Fi. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's if maybe see the occupy my craving and stuff like that, and keep my mouth occupied. I've got these uh, Twizzler-like things. I wonder if it's that. It's too much sugar, because I know I stopped drinking soda because it really fires up my my nerve endings really, really badly. But yesterday was all the day before, and you know, the first few days after I got my medication, I was fine. I wasn't in pain. I felt good. But like I said, yesterday and today, my nerve endings are just whacked out for some reason. I'm taking my medication, so it ain't that. I mean, I could fix it real quick. I just double up my medication, but I only got a supply for 30 days, and it's got to last till I get to the doctor's. So I have to be careful. I have to be careful. And I have no idea if the antibiotics is working. I have no idea. Well, I know I slept hard though. Oh my gosh, was I sleeping hard. Hey, Donna. Miss Donna. Hey, Colleen, are you still there? I gotta go down and check to see if we got bacon. Like I said, tonight I'm going to attempt to make Frisco burgers. Doesn't look all that hard. I didn't think it would be that hard. Just needed to know exactly what needed to be put together. I'm debating. There's two different types of mayonnaise that Hardee's use, and like the gentleman said, they did change the ingredient a little bit. The new what they changed to is no longer an onion-based mayonnaise. It's just regular mayonnaise that they use on their Frisco burgers now. But the guy did have the recipe to the old mayonnaise that they use on Frisco burgers, and that's powder onion and apple cider sauce, apple cider vinegar. And if you mix it together, and then you got to do something by sticking it in the refrigerator for about an hour, and that's the mayonnaise that they use in the past when it first came out. But everything else is really easy. It's literally just a burger, Swiss cheese, and bacon. And if you want tomato on it, you can add some tomato. Way too hot? What did I say, cook? I don't know who that is. Did I mess up my work? I probably did. Oh, you did. Trying to stay cooked. Okay, I see it now. It's actually really nice here. It's 70, 71 degrees outside. Very, very nice. We had a rainstorm yesterday. I guess tomorrow it's supposed to start raining again. It's going to rain for like 2, 3 days straight. Had my daughter get me some Gatorade this morning. Just to make sure, because all I drink is water, 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 water. And anybody that drinks just water, you've got to restore your electrolytes at least once a week, because you can get sick. If you flush all your electrolytes out, you'll get sick, and you won't even know why. So be very, very careful. If you're just drinking water, uh, you've got to replenish that electrolytes at least once a week. You know, a bottle or two of Gatorade, because, like I said, you will get sick, and again, you won't know why, because not everybody's educated on electrolytes and how it actually works. some people, they hear the word electrolytes like, oh yeah, I know electrolytes. No, they don't. They just know what the word is. You don't have any idea how important electrolytes are to the body. But like I said, I got a couple good news. I said yesterday, one, well, I've stopped 2 weeks ago. I don't drink soda no more. No more soda for me. At least until I can figure out and get my nerve endings under control, if ever again. And even then, I may not ever drink soda again, which is fine with me. I mean, I'm gonna miss it. I used to be a Mountain Dew drinker. I love my Mountain Dew, but I've quit Mountain Dew before, and that's when I was diabetic, and it cleared up my eyes. No, stopping Mountain Dew ain't gonna clear up my cataracts. That's a surgery thing. I gotta get the cataracts done. And the second good news is I'm quitting smoking. Right now, I gotta time it. I gotta time the patches to how many days I got to see the doctor, because if I go to the box, he gave it for me. He was supposed to give it for 30 days, but the box only has 14, not 15. Two boxes. I got two boxes here, and there are only 14 in each box. That ain't that ain't gonna last 30 days. So I have to wait a couple days before I can start using the patches, and then I got to find a substitute that isn't sugar to occupy my mouth. You know, Twizzlers are great, but too much sugar. And which is a good thing, because one, my cigarettes that I used to smoke are Newports, and those sons of bitches are almost $14 a pack. I remember when cigarettes were only $2 a pack. I'm old. I am old. Really do hope that this mechanic finds a cheap ECM. If I had an extra $60, I guess you could actually test an ECM. You can actually take it somewhere and have it tested, just the ECM alone, to see if it's actually uh, working or not. But it costs like $60 for that. And I know Sage was looking it up, and she was telling me that. I would very, very much rather spend $60 to test the ECM before buying $150 to $200, up to $400 ECM, and come to find out it's not the ECM at all. And I was telling the guy that, I said, the only thing that makes me hesitate on getting another ECM is, it isn't like going down and buying a sensor or a circuit or something like that, which is like 40, $50. You're talking almost $200 or up to $400 for a piece of equipment that you're not 100% sure is the problem. And when it comes to electronics, especially from a junkyard, you're not getting your money back. You're stuck. It isn't, and I don't even think you can buy ECM from an auto store and try to return it. So buying an ECM, you generally want to make sure you're 100% sure that is the problem. It isn't It isn't like buying an ignition switch, which we did. That was the last thing we bought for sixty some dollars. Where, yeah, it it needed to be tested, but at least it was cheap, and and didn't have to worry about try to return your money. You're not going to get your money back, but you didn't spend anywhere near $100. So anything above 60 bucks, you really really want to make sure you're 100% sure that's the problem, especially when it comes to electronics. See, we made a mistake already on the car. We replaced the rack and pinion thinking it was the rack and pinion. At least that's what I was told, because I had Colleen watching my. See, I was checking two different places, and I was actually checking one place, which I figured was the problem. I didn't think it was the rack and pinion so much as the steering wheel shaft that goes from the steering wheel to the rack and pinion, that piece there. Because there are joints in between, and in the joints there are pins. Well, after 15 years, those joints get worn out and get loose, and that's why you get play in your steering wheel. But it also could be the rack and pinion. But there's a way of testing that, and the way to test the play is have somebody wash the shaft and wash the pin itself and the knuckles, and when you turn the wheel, if it's loose, it will actually turn against itself. But if it's tight, it will turn as one. It won't move at all. Well, the first time I had Colleen look at it, and I told her what to look for, and she said, "Oh no, that's fine." So I just assumed, okay, it's the rack and pinion. So we spent some odd dollars on the freaking rack and pinion, which was a pain in the ass to get in and out, but we got it. And as we were putting back in, I had Colleen wash the shaft again, and sure as shit, the moment I started moving the steering wheel, she's like, "Uh-oh." I said, "What? What are you uh-ohing about?" And she goes, "There's play in the knuckles." I got so. Oh. I didn't yell at her. I didn't get mad at her. Because unless you really, really know what you're looking at, I guess, it's easy to make a mistake and not see what I'm talking about. So yeah, we still need to replace that shaft because we've got over 2 to 3 inch play in the steering wheel. And eventually what's going to happen is that pin's going to fall right out. It'll just fall right out, and then you got nothing. So after we get the car running, get a couple bills paid off, whatnot, we got registration we got to get done. Like I said, we got a couple other bills that got to get paid, make money for it. Then we're got to save some money and get that drive shaft, steering wheel shaft replaced. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And once we get that replaced, the whole front end will be basically brand new. The only thing that we hadn't replaced and changed would be the struts. But those struts are good and tight, and they look good. No clunking, no looseness, no nothing. But everything else has been replaced. Control arms, links, hubs. What are they called? Not rotors, but calipers, rack and pinion. That's the whole front steering system, all been replaced. So basically there's a new front end on the car. Once we get the car up and running, the only things that we need to change that's coming up that needs to be changed, way overdue. Uh, One, we got to get a new alternator. We found one online, only one place online, for 175. That's a brand new alternator that fits that car. And then we're just gonna have to put money away, because if we keep the car, we have to get the timing chain replaced. It is way overdue. I mean, yes, I could do it, but one, it would take too long. Two, I'm gonna have to have my eyes fixed before I even attempt it. And there's a lot of critical stuff you got to pay attention to. And when you change the timing chain on this particular car, you also want to change the water pump. It's kind of like if a headlight burns out, you don't just change one, you change them both. I know we got it. It's on the shelves right now. We got to change that fuel pump out. I do know that. We got to change out the charcoal canister. That's on the shelf. Once that all gets done, the car's pretty much new. I do know we were supposed to this summer, before this breakdown, Cully and I were going to strip the head off and replace the seals and clean stuff up. But that got blown out of the water with the clutch. I hate Chevys with a passion. This car broke down literally 2 months after we bought it. Wasn't even 2 months. The car broke down. And then it sat in the driveway for 3 years. All because of one bolt. And we finally moved it into the garage and got the bolt off eventually, replaced the catalytic converter, replaced the whole exhaust system from the engine all the way back to the muffler all the way back, and we couldn't get the car, so we started replacing all kinds of sensors. And I guarantee you there's a few of those sensors that didn't need to be replaced, but got replaced. Changed the spark plugs, oils, everything. And come to find out, the reason the car wouldn't start wasn't anything that needed to be replaced. It needed to be reset. The computer had to be reset. And thanks to a subscriber of mine, just happened to mention that. And sure enough, I went out and did the on, off steps, and went to turn it, and sure enough, the car wanted to start. Hey, Jan. So yeah, we'll see what this guy can find. If he can find a good, cheap ECM, because he looked the car over, and that's what his conclusion was. It's the ECM. But like I said, it's a risk getting another one because you're not paying less than 150 for one. You're just not going to. And to me, when you replace a car part that's more than 60 bucks, 50 bucks, you kind of want to make sure it's 100%. That's the problem. Well, with the ECM, you cannot be 100% sure unless you have it tested. Quite honestly, if I had an extra 60 bucks laying around, I would take this ECM out of this car and take it to whatever shop can test it, because that's what it costs to get one tested. About 60 bucks. So we're taking a big gamble on getting another ECM to see if that's why the car won't start. So everybody cross your fingers, your toes, your nose hairs, whatever, that this is the issue. This is what the problem is. And it makes me nervous because everything I read and people's comments were, oh, it's the ignition switch. It's the ignition switch. It's going to be the ignition switch. Well, I bought it. It cost me almost 60 bucks for its ignition switch. Put it in. Wasn't the problem. Didn't fix it. So I'm kind of excited, but I'm also very, very nervous. Oh yeah. I just saw what Eddie did. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mr. Eddie. Speaking of which, Jen, make sure you throw your channel up there tonight. Just about every Sunday around 8:30, Eddie and Jen go live, and majority of the time they have special guests or they review YouTubes and paranormal world enthusiasts. Great people. They should be over 50,000 people subscribe to them. So again, please, 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 if you haven't subscribed to Eddie and Jen, please do. Me, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about subscription, because if I get back to work, uh, I won't have time. I mean, yeah, I was doing live shows. That's awesome. Like I said, make sure you throw up your link so everybody can get subscribed that hasn't subscribed yet. please, please, please do subscribe to them. I want to see them get over 10,000 people before the end of the year. Because Eddie and Jen, they really, really been hammering this every Sunday. They've been doing even once in a while an odd day. And they really do have good guests. They really, really do. Some really cool people. And like I said, it ranges from everything, especially if it's paranormal, crypto, or whatever. Uh, they do cover a wide range of stuff. I know a couple shows ago they had one. I wanted it up there so bad, and it was an easy answer. The question was, why did these people on YouTube go investigating, and the moment something happened, a bump, a sound, a whistle, or something like that, they take off running? It's like the whole idea to investigate, to look for ghosts and stuff like that, is when you find one, you're not supposed to be running. Why are you investigating? Why are you looking for it if you're just going to run away? Well, there's only a couple real reasons. One, it's for entertainment purposes. That's what it is. You know, anybody watching a show and seeing somebody take off running because they're so scared, that's exciting to watch. Like, wow, you know, what happened? I want to watch this. That's the main reason. It's literally entertainment purposes. Second of all, a lot of people that are, especially these TV shows and get popular real quick, they have all these expensive equipment, investigating tools and stuff like that. Anybody can go out, buy thousands of dollars, or be sponsored thousands of dollars for equipment. Doesn't make you an investigator. You're just a regular person. So it is very common for a regular person to be scared shitless if something does happen, because they're in the mindset, 9 times out of 10, the mindset of a person that's new don't believe it in the first place. And there ain't nothing scarier than something you don't know. And that's what people are most scared of. People are afraid more when they don't know what's going on. And they have the belief, oh, it ain't real. It can't be real. You know, this is just some kind of game or something like that. But when it really pops up, an apparition pops up, a voice, a disembodied voice happens, a whistle or something moves on them, they're not expecting that. So yeah, they're going to go running. They are going to take off freaking running. Because one, they were not expecting it, and they did not think it would ever happen. So like I said, that's your answer. That's the reason why these people do it. It isn't any other reason. It's just, that's your basic 2 reasons. You know, get any pretty boy or pretty girl, get a sci-fi channel to sponsor you, and you're set. You know, if you really want it, the best, and I have to agree, and it's very rare I agree with a certain person, if at all, but I do agree 100% what he said. One of the best ghost hunting investigation shows is TAPS. TAPS basically started the whole thing off, and they're the real people, you know. I learned a lot of my investigating techniques from TAPS. Jason, and I can't think of the other guy's name. There were a few people. A couple of the people, they were just BS. You know, like they had one guy in there in the first shows. He was a demonologist. Okay, but he started to get to the point where it was whatever he could do to get more attention, and made it more elaborate than it needed to be. Made it scarier and all this and that. And that's when they got rid of them, you know. And that was a wise choice. They needed to get rid of the demonologist. They've tried a couple people. They tried to have psychic mediums and stuff like that in there. And that didn't work too well for them either. Because anybody could be a psychic medium. Anybody could be a medium nowadays. I know a few tubers out there that think they got these gifts. No, they don't. Especially when I know them when they very first got started in the YouTube business. They don't have any gifts whatsoever. But each to his own. There's a lot of tubers out there that believe that they do have these gifts and actually use them on their shows. And if I watch certain YouTubers, bigger YouTubers, and they have certain people on there claiming to have these gifts, I won't even watch the show because I know it's full of shit. It's just full of shit. Because I know, you'd be surprised who I know out here. You'd be surprised some of these tubers that are big now that I've known. I'm 57 years old. I've been watching YouTube when it first started. You'd be really, really surprised who I know. But I'm not one of these people who's going to do name drops and shit like that. They're their own people. Let them go on. And that's why you will never, ever really, truly see me beat up on anybody. Now, if you get to the point where it's just bullshit, yeah, I'm going to call your ass out. Especially when you lie about shit and make up stories about me or my family. Then I'm going to just hogtail your ass. Well, good morning, Theo. You finally woke up, did you? You finally woke up? Or are you thinking about going right back to bed? I gotta find something, some kind of towel or something up there I can throw up there for you. So what do you guys think? Am I full of shit or what? Comments. Comments. And I see Jen did put her link up there for the Eddie and Jen show. Yeah, but like I said, right now I'm only on here because I'm bored, and I'm waiting till Jamie's kids gets put down. I'm going to try the Frisco burger. I'm going to make some Frisco burgers tonight. Oh shit, I can't even see that. Damn it. I'm gonna have to get myself a magnifying glass. That's all there is to it. Now, let's see what you said. We are all full of shit that comes out of our butt. That's funny. You a funny girl. Hey, Fallen.
Yeah? Love you too.
Yeah, I don't tell anybody I'm live, really. I just kind of pop my nose in and get my nose out. Like I said, I'm just waiting till Jamie, our neighbor, gets done. Gonna pick up some sourdough bread, pick up some sliced Swiss cheese, pick up some hamburger, and I gotta see if we got any bacon left. And tonight I am going to attempt to make Hardee's Frisco burger. Oh, I might pick up a tomato or two. That's why, Colin. You asked me a question on a private message, that's why. Besides, I thought you were working. My bestie there, Miss Fallen, she's always freaking working. Every time I turn around, she's working. And she it needs some help, folks. She needs to get some uh, compression socks and did you say compression shoes? I didn't know they made compression shoes. I just figured you just buy some tight shoes and you're good to go. Now the compression socks I know about because you actually bought me some a couple of years ago for what was it, our birthday or Christmas gift or something like that. Yeah, that's what I was. See, the reason I don't tell too many people I'm blind, especially if I'm doing it from the iPad, is it's piss poor background and stuff like that. You know, I don't know how to use the live from an iPad. I guess there's a way I can even have people come up on here. I saw Ruby on the go do the same thing. He was on his phone, and he was able to bring people up, a guest up. But I don't know how the hell he did that. Once I could figure that out, yeah, I would love to have people come up and talk with me. So I don't know. I don't know too much about going live from the phone except how to go live, and that's it. There's a lot of features and stuff like that, but I just don't know it. Now on the computer, why am I not on the computer? Well, because I can't read the chat. That's why. Here, if when somebody types something, I could at least bring the thing right up to my freaking nose so I could see it. Oh. Give me a second. Pretty sad you got to use a phone, the magnifying feature on your phone, just to frickin' read the chat. Do they still make? Where the hell are you guys? There you are. Do they still make magnifying? You know those? Remember years ago they used to have these big magnifying sheets that you put over your screens and stuff like that. Do they still do that? Anybody know? Okay. Because as you guys can see, I'm using my phone to actually read the chat. So yeah. But I don't know if you heard, we did have the guy come out today. He was supposed to come out Thursday, but he got busy. He works two jobs, and I guess the mechanical part of it, he does as like a side job. So he couldn't come out Thursday. So he came out today. He was out there for about an hour or so. And his conclusion is it's ECM. So he's going to go to a junkyard, a couple junkyards, because he can get around and whatnot. He's familiar with it. And see if he can find an ECM for the car. And everybody cross your fingers and toes that that's the problem. As far as I'm concerned, that better be the problem. Then we'll get the car running, and then it's going to be working our asses off because we got two bills, or at least one bill that's got to get paid right away. And she's going to only get to work for like 4 or 5 hours a night to try to come up with the money, and that is going to be the phone bill. We got to get our phones turned back on. And that's going to be the hardest thing because, as I said, we got other bills, but she's going to have to make $50 extra, more than $50 every night, 50, 60, 70 for gas, make at least $70 a night for 6 nights straight to get our phone bill paid off. Because I am not doing a fundraiser. I'm done with fundraisers after this. But yeah, it's going to cost us at least $400. And the reason why it costs so much is because our phone's been turned off, but they keep adding and adding. They haven't shut down the account. They just turned off the phone, so they keep adding to the bill. And like I said, it's almost up to $400. Last we checked was $308, and that was about 2 weeks ago. So we gotta hustle our ass, get the phones turned back on, and then go from there. Yeah, I would hope you knew this too, but the problem is, got to make sure it's actually working. You get it reprogrammed for $50. There's a garage. I just found out today there's a garage just down the road from us that actually does reprogramming, and he does it for $50. So do you think maybe? Let's see if I read that right. If I just caught up on what you're saying, think you should take the ACM that I do have it reprogrammed, see if it gets reprogrammed, and see if that's just the issue. Is that what you're saying? So take RECM, take it in, and see if it could get reprogrammed. You're taking a 50-50 chance that's the problem. Either you're gonna do good with the $50 or you're just gonna waste $50. I'll tell Sage that she could get a message out to him. That's not really a bad idea at all. Yeah, as I was saying though, where you have stuff like that happening, anything that's going to cost $50 or more, you really, really want to make sure it's 100% that's the problem. Because you're not just, it's one thing throwing away maybe 50, $60. But when you start getting to the hundreds of dollars and stuff like that to replace stuff, and you're not 100% sure that's the problem, you're literally just wasting money. Everybody swore up and down it was the ignition switch. It's the ignition switch. People sending me links and videos and stuff like that. I looked up and people were answering in the car clubs. Oh, it's the ignition switch. It's the ignition switch. Well, come to find out, it wasn't the ignition switch. Bought a brand new one, had it put it in. Nope. Didn't do a damn thing. Was not the ignition switch at all. And that damn near cost $60 for that thing. So I told Colleen, I said, we're not throwing the other ignition switch out because there was nothing wrong with it. But I didn't have the tools to actually test it myself to see if it was the ignition switch. Maybe one day when I get a big toolbox, because I got a real small 3-drawer toolbox and that's it. It's not big at all, and I got so many tools. I need one of those 2 stackers. One that I could lock up, secure, and put my power tools in it. I got extensions that are almost 2 feet long that will not fit in this toolbox. So Ew. Yeah, tomorrow I gotta make 2, 3 phone calls. One, I gotta call and Fallen, you were right, I was wrong. The text now, I don't know why. I know I tried it before, it would not work. I was telling you about that. Well, now it works. So I do have a new number. So, and I did get my chart set up and everything, but the problem is it's a different number and a different email address. So I got to call the hospital themselves and give them that information so I can log into my chart, my health chart, and see what the lab results are. And then I got to call some therapy people, set up therapy appointments to see if they can help with my nerves. And then I got to get a hold of the eye doctor that the doctor referred and set up an appointment with that one. Yeah, we got mover and shakers. So things are going to be moving, and they're going to be moving quickly here now. So, but yeah, I will send my number out to you, to a few select people that I consider my family, and so you guys have my at least a way to call me. Because if you try calling my old number, my 81669, I don't even know what you guys will get. Does it say temporary, or does it say no longer in service? I don't even know. Has anybody tried calling me? Tell me what it says, because I know it's still on. Like I said, they're charging me, so they didn't completely cut the phone off. Does that make sense? Or does it come through? Somebody try calling me that has my number. I'm just kind of curious what it does. Waiting to see if anybody calls me. Anybody try?